Hey guys, the section of violence. I know you guys are looking forward to this card. It's a pretty good card for watching. As far as betting, not so much. I'll get into each fight. We got Jamie Lynn Horth versus Veronica Hardy. Um, Veronica Hardy, very attractive, beautiful eyes. But as far as her skills go, I'd say she's pretty good. She's pretty well rounded. Um, she's lost to some girls that are very questionable. Looking back at her last fight with Juliana Miller, Juliana Miller did give her a bit of a run for her money in some areas. Obviously, she got dominated, but she didn't make it like completely easy. She did put her in some situations in jiu-jitsu. I do think Jamie Lynn Horth is a little more sound technically than Juliana Miller. I do think her striking is a lot better. I do think if Horth lands on, I think Horth could actually surprise Hardy and land on her, maybe get a flash knockdown. I'm gonna go with Horth here, winning a competitive fight. I think it's gonna be a sparring match. Both girls have trained together in the past. It's an interesting fight. Definitely could see it going either way. Veronica Hardy definitely has a I feel like if she gets on top of Horth will have a hard time getting up. I mean, Haley Cohen had a trouble getting her down, but when she did get her down, she could keep her down. From what I can remember, at least, all I know from this is Jamie Lynn Horth is not somebody that you want to sleep on. I do think she wins this fight. I don't know exactly. She could win in the third round. She has a few third round finishes, but I'm gonna go with Jamie Lynn Horth by decision. I feel like that's gonna be the most likely outcome. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. No, just joking, but it's gonna be an interesting one for sure. Moving on, we have Wellington Turman versus Jared Gooden. Jared Gooden, very stationary, keeps his hands low. Underrated grappling. He doesn't usually get submitted. He's a journeyman, not the greatest fight IQ. His takedown defense early is pretty good. So when he gets tired, it's when takedowns come a little bit easier. He's pretty experienced. He's faced guys like Impa Kasangane, DeMarque Jackson, Carlston Harris, Randy Brown. He hasn't been submitted in I don't know how long, if at all. I do think he has the ability to be out grappled, but I'm gonna go with Turman here because I don't think Turman needs to grapple. He has in my opinion, he has some striking as well. He does worry me a bit, but I do think under under Alex Pereira's gym under the tutelage of Teixeira, I do think Turman's going to be a problem here for Jared Gooden. I think Turman's going to be too game. I think he's going to be able to press him up against the fence, potentially even score a finish. Um, I think it's going to be a fun fight. Honestly, I could see Gooden also pulling an upset. Because I don't think Turman's at high level. I just think the improvements he's made at Teixeira's gym is huge, and I think he'll be able to show it against a punching bag in Jared Gooden. But yeah, Gooden's dangerous, and he's hard to keep down, and or not so much keep down. He's harder to get down, especially early. So I'm gonna go with Turman, but interesting fight for sure. Moving on, we have Potieria versus Rodolfo Bellato. Pretty straightforward fight. Bellato, he's got to survive the first, half a round. Potierio's cardio is pretty bad. He'll quit anytime. Um, I can't trust Potieria, man. He's getting pieced up by old man Shogun before the finish. I think Potieria is he doesn't grapple nearly as well as Bellato, and I just feel like Bellato's too well rounded. Other than getting meme KO'd early, I don't see that happening. So I'm gonna go with Bellato late round one or round two, TKO or submission. I do think these are just levels to this game. Bellato's on a different level than Hopateria. Could he get caught? Maybe. It's light heavyweight as well, so it's a dangerous division. But I'm gonna go with Bellato here. I do think Bellato's just the better fighter. Hopefully he doesn't let me down because I was fading in his last fight. So Hopefully my initial gut instinct about him wasn't right, and we can just move on from those fights. Yeah, Bellato by TKO or submission. Moving on, we have Steve Garcia versus Malcuzal Costa. So Steve Garcia he's lived by the sword, died by the sword type. He's very chinny. I think Costa has a potential to get a finish here. He does have, I know what people don't know from the UFC, but from the LFA, he has KO power. I feel like he could put Steve Garcia away. I don't see, you know, I don't see Garcia getting beat by, sorry, I don't see Costa getting TKO'd by Garcia. Could happen, but I just don't see it. I think Costa's just a more capable fighter. I'm gonna go with Meliquis Costa here. I feel like he's just gonna be able to put a better 15 minutes together. I feel like he's gonna be able to, use his kicks, keep him at range, even hurt him at a point, maybe get him out of there with a TKO. Um, I think I don't think Steve Garcia's grappling is bad. I just don't think it's good enough to survive with Melquise Costa. I think Costa is gonna beat him, and yeah, it's an interesting fight though, and hopefully at Melquise Costa takes this layup the UFC's giving him. But yeah, it's definitely not an easy layup, but it's a layup nonetheless. Moving on, we have Drakkar Klose versus Joe Solecki. Joe Solecki is a very, very dangerous grappler, especially early. Um, that's about it, man. His striking is pretty basic. He doesn't do anything spectacular on the feet. Not very dangerous on the feet. His punching's more to set up for his grappling. I like close, man, but it's a hard fight because it is a very close fight. No pun intended. He uh he's coming off of ACL surgery. He's not getting any younger. He does give up time on the ground. I'm gonna go with Drakkar Close because of the cardio. I feel like can be very dangerous on the feet. He's a bit wild, so that could be a problem. He could walk right into takedowns. I like Joe Selecki's grappling a lot better than some of the guys he's fought against who've got him down. So, but he survived Daniel Dariush on his back, so I'm gonna go with Jakar Close, man. I do think he's experienced enough to deal with Solecki's style and win a decision, if not get him out of there late. I'm gonna go with Jakar Close here, and it's gonna be a fun fight. Hopefully, the ACL injury didn't affect him too much. Moving on, we have Cody Brundage versus Zach Reese. Cody Brundage does not want to be in the cage at all unless it's going his way, and even then, if the fight's taking too long, he'll check out mentally. I do think Cody Brundage is honestly one of not the worst, but like one of the most mentally not sound fighters in the UFC, and I do think Zach Reese, although he's a lot of things, his chin's high and he lacks some attributes, very slow. I do think he's very, very dangerous, very, very vicious with his striking. And I do think he is very slick with his BJJ. So I'm going to go with Zach Reese here. The debut nerves could get to him, but I do think Brundage is a fast starter, and he could either, if he doesn't get him out of there early, I do think Zach Reese wins this fight, takes over, beats him. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Zach Reese here, but I wouldn't be surprised to see an upset from Cody Brundage. Brundage is a weird character; he just pulls rabbits out of his hat and wins fights. So last fight I took him by first round TKO DQ. We cashed that. Huge prop. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. But Zach Reese, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to take him this. Sorry, Brundage, I'm gonna have to take Reese this time. I just don't think he's gonna pull that off again. But yeah, never know. Brundage is dangerous round one. Moving on, we have. I'm gonna go Reese by submission, round one, or TKO. Moving on, we have Julia Avila versus Misha Tate. Misha Tate is past her prime, had a kid, not anywhere close to a title shot. Luckily, they're trying to give her a layup here against a girl who's also coming off a pregnancy, 2-year layoff, and liberal as all get out. I do think Misha Tate wins this. Um, I was on Avila, and I do think plus 800 sub is ridiculous, so I sprinkle a little on that. But for the most part, I think Misha Tate wins this fight with ease. I do think Tate is just I just think Tate's a better wrestler, and I do think her activity, even though it's not much better, it's better. Is going to get her a win in this fight. She's faced better competition. Um, Went 5 rounds with Ketlin Vieira, which is, in my opinion, a more dangerous striker than Avila. Avila does have power, very, very dangerous with her jiu-jitsu, and that's how Miesha Tate usually loses, 5 submission losses. I think Avila is going to win by submission if she wins, but I'm going to go with Miesha Tate here. I think that's the side. Avila's layoff and her mentality, who she's training with, is just a red flag. I'm going to go with Miesha Tate here. Yeah, moving on. We have Punahele Soriano versus Dustin Stoltzfus. Stoltzfus is a very, very, I don't know, he's not really cut out for like the savage fighting life. A lot of people aren't. They're athletes like him. He's a very, very athletic guy, does yoga. Very, very nice guy. I just don't think this is the sport for him. He wants to hold you, get a submission, maybe some ground and pound, but for the most part, he's not a very big finisher. And I don't think his time in the UFC is going to be going much longer, especially when Puna, in my opinion, I think he's going to TKO Dustin very quickly in the first round. I think Soriano's power is going to be too much for Stoltzfus. And I think if Stoltzfus doesn't show in this fight that he's got to set his brass balls, I just don't think he's going to be able to contend with Soriano. You're going to need a chin, and I don't know if Stoltzfus has that. Um, yeah, we'll see. Soriano, he does get slower as the fight goes on, so you never know. Stoltzfus could get the grappling going and pull an upset, but I just think Soriano is going to be too slick here. Face has too good experience. I don't think he's going to, lose to someone like Stoltzfus, but you never know. Jared Mearshart getting out wrestled for 2 rounds by Stoltzfus, so you never know. Yeah, moving on. We have yeah, I'm gonna go Soriano and I'm gonna go round one TKO. Moving on. We have Clay Guida versus Joaquin Silva. Joaquin Silva is a very, very dangerous fighter. A little on the older side, but he's on all the sauce. I do think he is very, very dangerous with the jiu-jitsu. His striking is pretty good as well. I do think if Guida comes in the way he comes in, I think he's very open to some knees. Um, I just think Guida is not, in my opinion, at the level of Joaquin Silva. Silva's fought some really good guys. He put Arman Tsarukyan on Jelly Street. I just think Clay Guida is on the way out. I think Silva is too, but I just think Guida is just a little more on the way out. And I'm going to go with Joaquin Silva. I do like the team Guida trains with, good game planning, but I'm going to lean with Silva here by submission. I would go TKO, but Guida's been pretty smart with staying safe defensively as far as getting TKO'd. So I'm gonna go with submission. I feel like he's gonna panic wrestle or do something in the grappling exchange and get submitted. So Jacqueline Silva is a pick. I'm gonna go by submission in the second round. Moving on, we have Calvin Gastelum versus Sean Brady. Very interesting fight. I think Gastelum wins this fight. I don't like Brady's. Like, man, I don't know if it's not I don't like Bray. I'm not really a fan. He's very strong, good head and arm choke, good top pressure. He's beat some good guys, but I think Gastelum has such a good experience, and I think he as a wrestler himself. I think he'll be able to deal with Brady. The strength might be a bit of an issue, so I'm interested to see how Calvin looks at 170 after all the years at 185. But we'll see. Sean Brady's a very strong guy. Gastelum probably bringing some strength down from 185. So I look to see. I don't think it'll be too much of a strength difference from Brady. I'm gonna go with Gastelum here just because I feel like he's gonna put it on Brady, maybe even get him out of there in the second or third. But I just think Brady is strong and he could out wrestle Gastelum and he dominate him, even get a submission. So I'm gonna go with Gastelum here. It's a close fight, but I lean Gastelum. Yeah. Moving on, we have Rob Font versus Davison Figueredo. Figueredo is a very, very dangerous man, both on the feet and on the mat. His guillotines are very, very nice. I do think Font puts his head out there for guillotines when he shoots. I'm going to go with Davison Figueredo here. I think the team at Fight Ready has done great for him as far as keeping him centered and not doing stupid things like jumping heel hooks, jumping guard, things that he normally shouldn't be doing. I think Figueiredo is going to be dialed in. I think he's going to catch Rob Font coming in and latch up a sub and get him out of there. Interesting fight. I think Figueiredo is very dangerous. I got a plus value. I don't know what his value is now, but I think Figueiredo's the side. Interesting fight. Definitely nervous for his first time at bantamweight. But I think Rob Font, other than his beautiful jab, I don't think it's going to cause too much problems for Figueiredo. His fight IQ is not great, so Figueiredo shouldn't have to worry about getting outsmarted. But yeah, I think Figueiredo should win this one. But it's an interesting fight for sure. We have Jalen Turner versus Bobby Green on the co-main event. So Bobby Green's a very, very good fighter. He he's shown that in the last fight. And some of his fights in his career, he's had moments where he hasn't looked great, like against Tony Ferguson. But truly, Tony, we don't know what's left in the tank, considering his performance had been very lackluster. Looking good in one round, looking terrible in another. Pretty good in a fight, looking bad in another. So you don't really know where Tony's at truly. But one time in Tony's career, he was the best in the world, and Bobby Green beat him by sub. So I don't know what to take from that, but all I know for sure is that he beat someone like Grant Dawson decisively by KO. So the guy's always dangerous. But the thing with this is Turner's not going to play into Bobby's game of trying to fight in the inside. He's gonna fight Bobby on the outside, and I feel like his length is gonna be too much for Bobby, especially on short notice. Bobby's used to, guys coming in, his hands down, and you don't have to worry about that reach. And now you're really gonna have to worry about that reach, especially with the knees of Turner. I think it's gonna be a lot of weapons coming at Bobby. I'm gonna go with Turner here, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Bobby break him. Um, Bobby isn't really known for that, but I could see it. He's known for more like landing a big shot, styling on you, getting you frustrated. He doesn't like pressure you, so I don't know. That's usually what you need to beat Turner. So I'm gonna go with Turner here, but it's one of those fights where I'm not too invested in. I'm more watching as a fan. It should be fun. Moving on, we have Arman Tsarukyan versus Beneil Dariush. So Beneil, I don't know what I'm getting with Beneil. Am I getting the guy that fought Gamrot? Because if I'm getting the guy that fought Gamrot, I think he beat Tsarukyan very easily. Tsarukyan's a little more dangerous on the feet than Gamrot. But I feel like the cardio is worse for Tsarukyan than it is Gamrot, and I feel like he could have done 2 more rounds with the cardio he showed in the fight with Gamrot. So I'm gonna go with Dariush here, but it's low confidence, probably my lowest confidence pick of the card, and I definitely think Arman could KO him, or even better, just out wrestle him for 5 rounds. But honestly, I just think Dariush is very dangerous, and I feel like if Gamrot can't, then I don't know how he can, but we'll see. I think this is a very, very fun matchup. I think Beneil's he's at a very, very critical point in his career. If he loses, he's going to look towards retirement, legacy fights, and if he wins, he's still in the title picture. So dream's still alive. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna lean Dariush, but I wouldn't. I'm probably gonna go switch to Arman by fight day. Arman's a beast. He's shown a lot of holes in his game, and and Beneil's very good at exploiting them for his own gain. So I'm gonna go with Beneil, but it could change, and I'm not confident. Now, if I can get to my most confident picks, number one, I'd say Rodolfo Bellato. I'd say number two. I'd have to say number two would be Zach Reese. I'd say number three. Number three would have to be Puna Soriano. Number four would have to be, I'd have to say, Jaquim Silva. Number five would have to be, I'm trying to think who would be a good number five. I'd say Mel Costa would be a good number five. So yeah, that'd be a decent parlay. Get you something back, but you never know. One's bound to screw up. So, all right, guys, subscribe. You know the drill. I'm gonna have BKFC predictions after the weigh-ins, and then I don't think there's anything else this week. If I'm mistaken, then let me check. Fury FC as well. So I got Fury FC and BKFC. Other than that, pretty small week this week. Let's get it, guys. Christmas season is upon us. Hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. Those of you in the States that watch me. Yeah, guys. Until next time, I'll catch you later.